Welcome to The Explainer. So if you've been following the hospitality space for a while, you know the industry is, well, it's constantly evolving. But every so often, a concept comes along that completely disrupts the status quo. And today, we're looking at a proudly Kenyan innovation known as Dogo pods. We're going to explore exactly how they use modular architecture, not just to build rooms faster, but to completely redefine how we create hospitality and curate those unforgettable guest experiences, all just in time for a massive global event. Okay, picture this. As Kenya prepares to co-host the AFCON 2027 tournament, the clock is quite literally ticking. We're looking at a fast-approaching deadline to accommodate thousands of fans, teams, and officials, all under very strict international standards. Now, the traditional approach? Frantically pouring concrete and throwing up massive new hotel wings. But that takes years, and honestly, it permanently alters the environment. So it leaves us with this massive, looming question. How do we create enough high-quality accommodation in under 11 months, without destroying the exact beautiful landscape that guests are coming to see in the first place? And that brings us to this brilliant paradigm shift from Dogo. The future of hospitality is no longer measured by the size of a building. It is measured by the quality of the experience. You know, modern guests are changing. They really don't just want a massive, echoing lobby anymore. They're seeking authenticity. They want to wake up completely surrounded by nature, in architecture that actually reflects the local identity, and they deeply value sustainability. Dogo is essentially proving that true hospitality is about that intimate, curated connection to the environment, not just, raw square footage.
Section 1. The Landscape First Philosophy. So let's look at that philosophy in action. Architect Rafael Moreira designed the Dogo holiday pod to literally nestle into nature rather than paving right over it. Think about a usual development. They clear the land, flatten it out, and drop a giant building smack in the middle. Dogo approaches it from the exact opposite direction. Because the construction happens off-site, all those mature trees, the natural topography, and just the absolute serenity of the location are left completely intact. The guest gets to enjoy it from the absolute second they arrive.
Section 2. Anatomy of a pod. Let's look inside the details.
Now, I know it's kind of hard to imagine crafting true luxury hospitality in a compact 13 square meter space. That sounds tiny, right? But because every single square meter is completely optimized by architects and interior designers, it doesn't feel cramped at all. It feels deeply immersive. You have this massive panoramic glazing that practically pulls the outside in. It makes the sweeping savanna, or a quiet garden in Karen, or even a working coffee farm act as your personal, live wallpaper. The surrounding environment literally becomes the main feature of the room.
And we definitely aren't talking about glamping or some basic cabin here. These are high-end technological sanctuaries. Just imagine a roaring football crowd right outside. But thanks to STC60 soundproof walling and double-glazed acoustic windows, you are sitting in absolute pin-drop silence inside. Add in smart climate control, high-performance thermal insulation, and touchscreen LED lighting, and you've got this premium environment guaranteeing a flawless, luxurious night's sleep, completely irregardless of the chaos or the weather outside.
Section 3. Precision manufactured in Kenya.
Just look at this stark contrast. Traditional hotel expansions are a nightmare of multi-year timelines, insane noise, and the terrifying risk of building a stranded asset that just sits totally empty once the tournament ends. Dogo entirely bypasses all of that. By manufacturing everything off-site, they go from the initial design to a fully installed permanent hospitality asset in just 100 days. They can grow accommodation capacity at lightning speed without ever, for even a second, compromising the premium quality of the guest experience.
The transformation here is just incredible to see. It goes from a raw, precision-welded steel frame all the way to a turnkey, polished suite that is ready to host its first guest. By bringing architecture, engineering, and manufacturing under one roof in their Kenyan workshop, Dogo isn't just importing cheap temporary event tents. They are building 100% local, world-class hospitality units, and honestly, they're significantly supporting local jobs in the process, which is a massive win.
Section 4. Pop-up hospitality villages.
Okay, the commercial flexibility here is a real game changer because it totally democratizes how hospitality is created. Investors can straight up buy fleets of pods to develop permanent assets. Existing hotels can instantly lease pods to capture all that tournament overflow without spending years building out new wings. Or, and I love this one, local landowners near major stadiums can enter joint developments. Dogo literally drops the pods on their idle land, and they share the hospitality revenue with zero construction risk. It's just an incredibly dynamic approach to solving a massive capacity gap.
And here is where the magic of modular scalability really shines. We aren't just dropping single isolated pods in empty fields. By clustering 50 or 100 units together on vacant lots or institutional grounds near venues like Talanta or Kasarani, Dogo instantly manifests fully serviced pop-up boutique hotels. The whole shebang. They come complete with shared receptions, security, and dining amenities. It's putting verified, high-end hospitality exactly where the fans are, exactly when it's needed most.
Which brings us to the ultimate legacy of the Dogo model, built for one tournament, but useful for years after. Historically, host nations build these temporary shipping container villages that just turn into discarded ghost towns once the final match is played. Dogo flips this narrative entirely. Once AFCON wraps up, these hospitality villages simply unclip. The pods are relocated to become permanent eco-lodges in national parks, quiet savanna retreats, or even premium student housing. They just keep generating revenue and value for decades.
So I want to leave you with this thought. As Kenya prepares to welcome Africa in 2027, what else could we completely reimagine by thinking modular? We've just seen how this landscape-first architecture can solve a massive hospitality crisis while reshaping tourism long after the final whistle blows. I mean, if we can build premium hotels in 100 days, imagine what this could mean for healthcare or education or residential living. The future isn't about building bigger, it's about building smarter. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this sparks some big ideas for you.